Hello grade 2s, welcome to our last math lesson this week. Today is Friday and we are going to continue with our clock, so I do want you to have your clock. To begin, I'm just going to have you watch mine and I'll tell you when it's time to set your clock, okay? So I'm going to hold up my clock and I want to see who can tell me what time is it? Who can tell me what time it is? It is, what time did you tell me? Well, the hour is between the 2 and the 3. It's not 3 yet though, so I know the hour is 2. And let's count around for the minutes. If you need to start at the top and go all the way, or maybe you remember that at the 6, that's 30, but we can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So we have 2, because it's between the 2 and the 3. It's not at the 3 yet, so it's still in the hour of 2. 35 is our minute hand, okay? Now, we can say it's 2:35, but another thing that we often say is how many minutes is it until the next hour, so until 3 o'clock. Well, how many minutes will it take to get to 3 o'clock? Well, let's count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and when it gets to the 12, it'll be 3 o'clock. So 25 minutes to 3 o'clock. So we can say this 2:35, 35 minutes after 2, or we can say that it's 25 minutes to 3 o'clock. Now I'm going to change the time. Who can tell me what time it is now? I just moved our hour hand up. It's still 2. We don't have it quite at the 3 yet. 2. And because it's at the 9, remember that quarter? We know we had 35 here. 40, 45. We have 2:45. And again, we can say 2:45, or we can say how many minutes is it until 3 o'clock? Because anything after the 30, we're getting closer to 3 o'clock than we are to the 2 o'clock. So as we come around and get past the 30 minutes or the 6, this is on this side of the clock is when we can start, we'll say the time twice. We can say it as 2:45, or we could say how many minutes until 3? Well, how many minutes would it take us to get up to 3? 5, 10, 15, right? And remember, if we divide our clock into quarters, this is 1 quarter. So we have 15 minutes until 3. So 15 minutes to 3. Perfect. We can go up here. Can anybody tell me? I'm going to get a little bit closer. What time it is now? Not at the 3 yet, so we're still at the 2. So 2, and how many minutes? We've got 50 here, 51, 52. It is 2:52. We can count up, okay? Now, oftentimes we'll say it's about 10 minutes to 3, right? 5, 10, even though it's not quite. We'll often say that. Now I would like you to get your clocks, and I would like you to get your clocks to 12 o'clock. That's where the hour and the minute hand both are at the top. So can you get your clocks ready for that, please? Okay, so get it at 12 o'clock here, just like I've done. Now, 12 o'clock actually happens twice in the day. It happens once when we're sleeping, and we call that midnight, and that's actually the start of a new day. So 12 at midnight in the middle of the night is the start of the new day. The next time we get to 12, we call it noon, and that's often when we're eating lunch. So let's go through our clock and let's talk about what kind of things that we would do. Well, at 12 o'clock, we're going to be sleeping. And do with your clock as well. Move the minute hand all the way around. 1 o'clock, I'm still sleeping. Come all the way around. I'm still going to sleep at 2. All the way around. Sleeping, 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 sleeping. Now, as we get closer to when you wake up, I want you to think about when you wake up. Do you wake up at 6:30? Do you wake up at 7? Maybe. So 7 o'clock. I'm maybe waking up at 7 o'clock. What am I doing next? Maybe around 7:30, I'm starting to have breakfast. And then maybe, what about 8 o'clock? Am I getting dressed for school? Am I brushing my teeth? Come around as we get to, keep going with me. What do? 9 o'clock school starts. Yes. We come around. 9:30, we're starting math class. And we go all the way around to 10:30. We're having our snack and we're going out for recess. All the way around, we're at recess. We'd have read aloud and reading. And we're back up at 12, and this is called noon, and this is when we're going to eat lunch. Okay, reading lunch, and then we're going outside. 1 o'clock is when the whistle goes that we come inside. We're going to have some writing. Going to come around, and at 2:15 we'd have another snack, and we'd be heading outside for recess. And coming all the way around with me, at 3:30 is when school finishes, and your mom and dad come and pick you up. We go around. Maybe when you get home at 4, do you have a snack sometimes? Keep going. We come around. Maybe you're going to have dinner. Maybe 5:30, maybe 6 o'clock. You eat your supper. Think about what you'd be doing. And as we keep going, maybe around 7, do we get in the bath or have a shower? Maybe we're starting to get ready for bed. Maybe we go to bed at 7:30. Maybe we go to bed at 8 o'clock. And then we're going to keep sleeping all the way until we get back to our 12 o'clock midnight. And we're sleeping and a new day starts. So we went around to 12 at noon, and we went round and got to 12 again. So do you know how many hours are in one day? Well, we went from 12 midnight to 12 noon. That's 12 hours. Then we went from noon to midnight, which is another 12 hours. So there are 24 hours in one day, okay? Now, I want us to think about if I told you I was brushing my teeth at 8 o'clock. I was brushing my teeth at 8 o'clock. Do you know whether I'm brushing my teeth at 8 o'clock in the morning, or do you know if I'm brushing my teeth at 8 o'clock at night? That's something I could be doing at 8 in the morning. I could be doing it at 8 o'clock at night. The way that we can tell whether it's the morning, I'm brushing my teeth because I just had breakfast, or if I'm brushing my teeth because I'm getting ready for bed, we would write 8:00. We write a.m., and that means in the morning, okay? And if I was brushing my teeth to go to bed, I would write 8 p.m., and that is for in the evening. A.m. is in the morning, and p.m., because if you'll notice on my clock, we saw each hour 2 times. So it happens the beginning of the day and it happens at the end of the day. So to tell somebody what time it is, we say a.m. and p.m. Sometimes we would just know. If I'm sleeping at 10, well, I'm probably not sleeping at 10 in the morning. I'm sleeping at 10 at night. But there's some activities we might not know, like brushing our teeth, okay? If I come to my party at 2 o'clock, what do you think? Am I saying 2 a.m. or 2 p.m.? I'm saying 2 p.m. after lunch, right? So at noon, at lunchtime, that's when we switch to then after that, it's p.m., okay? From midnight to noon, it's a.m. And at 2 a.m. you're sleeping, you won't be coming to have a party, okay? So there is one more thing I would like us to do in our textbook before we finish today. So in your textbook, open to page 62. Press pause if you need to, okay? And we had talked about different ways to say the time, okay? So we talked about, and so I want you to look up at these clocks. We have 1 o'clock, And then if we move our minute hand over to the 1, it is 1:05. Then we moved it all the way around, we got to 2 o'clock. Then if we move it down to the 6, it becomes 2:30. And then anytime after the 6, this is when we can start to say times to the next hour, okay? So we have what's called 4:45, but we can also say how many minutes is it until 5? Let's count. 5, 10, 15. So 15 minutes to 5. So we can say 4:45, or we could say 15 minutes to 5. Down here, we have 6, and then it's at the 11, which is 55 minutes if we count all the way around. So we could say it's 6:55, but we also could say how many minutes until the next hour, right? And from the 11 to 12 is 5 minutes. So it's 5 minutes to 7. So there's different ways that we can say the time. And I want you to remember that because you're going to do that in your workbook today, okay? So you're going to do exercise 47. So remember, once we get past the 6 for the minutes, we can say how many minutes until the next hour, okay? And then over here, I want you to draw on the minute hand. Where would the minute hand go for 9:30? Well, 9 is the hour, but where would the minute hand go to show me 30 minutes? Do you remember? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Remember that 6 is the 30 minutes. So I'm going to draw the minute hand down to the 6, and you're going to keep going with that. So have fun and have a great weekend.